and probably not enough matches. The reality of the situation was that we were faced with uh, representing Canada, the Billie Jean King Cup, or training and getting ready for clay season. Layla was, adamant about representing Canada and made it perfectly clear that she was going yes or yes, and that was a priority in her, in her goals for this year. She really wanted to see Canada in the finals, and she thought that the girls did fantastic last year. And last year she wasn't able to go because it was at the end of the season, and we just didn't have enough time. We had scheduled things differently. So this year was just, it was not negotiable, and we she did. Unfortunately, it's in Vancouver, so she had to go from the East Coast to the West Coast, spend a week there, get acclimatized there for indoor hard court, come all the way back. Basically, we got maybe 2 or 3 good training days before heading to Europe and doing Madrid. Madrid wasn't very good. Rome was very good. Unfortunately, we were both battling a very bad cold, so we were just under the weather. So clay season hasn't been very friendly to us. So from a preparation standpoint, of course, we could always do better. I think that mentally and emotionally, we're both extremely engaged to make the French Open, a success. Irrespective of the actual result, we just want to make sure that we go in there and have no regrets.
Well, I'm not sure the draw has done you too many favors. You get a French woman in France, in Kristina Mladenovic. So what's the message? What's the right approach for this match to find a way through it?
It doesn't get any better than this. It doesn't. I mean, come on. In such a great stadium, right? Like I'm hoping that the crowd will be there. Come out and support 2 fantastic players. Come out and support Kristina. It's not every day you get an opportunity to play, in your home country. And I'm not, I'm a sports, romantic. I think these are the moments that you hope you can be part of. Of course, we want Leilani to be successful and win. That's never going to change. But at the same time, it is an incredible opportunity for her to live something that is special, right? To go against a French player that is experienced in Langland, at night, more than likely, because it's the last match on. So it'll be just special. I think the most important thing is that she enjoys the moment. She enjoys being, in that environment, being the underdog. And if she does a great job, in the end, if you get applause, that's what you want. We're still in development. It still has a couple of years left before we can say, okay, I think it's time for you to start doing your profession 100%. She still has a lot to learn. So in the meantime, these type of events, you got to look at it with a smile and say, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that I'm going to be part of it. You have that right attitude, and then anything can happen.
Well, she made it very clear. She likes a hostile environment. She doesn't just deal with it. She likes it. And she credits you for trash talking her and her younger sister on the practice court. What was that like? Paint us a picture of, like, how tough were you on them?
Extremely tough.
Yeah.
Extremely tough. The reason why I am tough is because I always believed that they could get there. I was always, I never looked at her size. I never looked at any things that people pointed out to me. I just saw an unbelievable competitor, and a huge, huge heart, and these unbelievable eyes when she saw the ball flying all around the court. However, let's say she's doing really poorly in that practice session, I kind of jab a little bit and say, the Eastern European girls, 5'11" and up. And let me tell you, that ball that you just hit, you're going to eat it. And you better like eating tennis balls, because it's going to be a feast, a buffet style, and I just start. And or if she's doing extremely well, then I say, the top 20 players, it takes a heck of a lot more than what you're doing right now. So, and she gets upset because obviously it's either going really well or it's going really badly. But I'd like to always paint a picture of difficulty so she can visualize what's going to come. Obviously, with more experience, you understand that this is what they're going to face, a hostile environment. Now, of course, we like to call it a hostile environment. I just love to call it, an unbelievable opportunity. Like, this is what it's about, right? This is, like, to me, you know, Game 7, Nordiques Canadian, Canadian leaves Game 7. Let's go. Gloves are off, and away you go, right? So we gotta love that. So I take a little bit of that edge into the training sessions, and she is ready. I mean, she faced Sarasua in Mexico,
Yeah,
in the semifinals, and that was pretty tough. That was pretty tough in Mexico. So she can do that. She can do this one as well.
can you give us a sense of what the year has been like? You're talking about the Billie Jean King Cup, and Leilani is in demand, and no doubt the team needed her. And she's got sponsorships. She was telling us today that she didn't realize the time commitment, right? Like, just for a 15-second commercial, you're there all day. What's it been like navigating that? Because she is more in demand this year, and looking, because it's even harder to take the next step, right? It's harder to get to the top 100, then it's harder to get to the seed, then it's harder to go up more. So what's the sense of how the year has played out?
It's been extremely difficult, and the easiest way to I guess to use a loose analogy is going from high school to university. I would imagine that is very similar. There's a transition from graduating university, whether it's a bachelor, a master's, a PhD, whatever it is, and then going to the actual working environment that you're supposed to be going into. There's a transition. There's that gray zone where everybody is lost, right? You don't just fall in and then you hit the ground running. So I think from an expectation standpoint, we have done a very good job in setting expectations that are a little bit more realistic from a performance standpoint. Being a little bit more accepting and saying, look, we only have 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We can't spend that amount of time training and then have the expectation that we're going to be successful. However, we can still progress in those results, and until we get used to the rhythm, we just have to take that one step at a time type of attitude. It's what makes it difficult is how ambitious Layla is. That's what makes it difficult, and I only have myself to blame. So I can't really jump on her back because I have set the bar and the tone for many years. And of course, it is our responsibility and our job to know when to push and when to just hold back and say, let's pull it back, pull the reins back a little bit and relax. However, having said all of that, she did 4 rounds at Indian Wells. She repeated in Monterrey. She got a slight injury, unfortunately, in her match against Iga. She wasn't in her best form going into the tournament, but she was hitting the ball really well. She was playing her style very well, and then she got that little abductor pull. So she bounced back from that, and then Miami. It's to be expected. She had been doing well in Mexico. 4 rounds in Indian Wells, and then there's a little dip. You kind of have to expect that. Charleston was clay, and then boom, she bounces back again for the Billie Jean King Cup. I think it just shows a lot of maturity from her. It shows a lot of willingness to really compete all the time. So you never really see up to now a match where you can actually say she really looked poorly, outside of the Iga match where, again, not to make an excuse, it is hard to play on one leg. But she ran everything down. She didn't tell anybody this. And we can say it now because at the time I didn't know how serious it was. So I really don't want to talk about it. And now I could tell you that it was a concern. She gave everything that she had. She did it in Mexico. She did it in Wells. She did it at Billie Jean King Cup. Um, Madrid, she was sick, unbelievably sick, and she put up an unbelievable fight against a very informed, opponent, Teichmann. And then Kazakina, what do you want? I mean, again, playing under the weather. I always tell people, you'd be shocked, you'd be surprised how she shows up to work and doesn't use it as an excuse. And I think that's what makes her into a very special player and a very special person. So to put it in mildly, it's been extremely challenging managing both because they both take a toll. In her mind, this is what she was born to do. So she takes it all in stride. You don't see her partying. You don't see her looking for restaurants and looking for this and looking for that. She's living her dream. She wants to be in front of the public. She wants to set a good example for future players. She wants to give the fans a taste of what she believes they want from a tennis perspective. She wants to be authentic. She doesn't want to imitate anybody. And she's just living the life that she's always dreamed of. So I think that counterbalances all the other difficulties that we see,
Right.
but maybe she doesn't.
Well, she's resilient. We know that. And she loves the French Open. So we look forward to seeing her on the big court. And we always enjoy talking to you. So good luck. And we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks, Mark. I hope to have another conversation with you. Vamos. Allez. Let's go.
Allez.